All right. Good afternoon, people. Yeah, I have to clear my throat as soon as I start recording. I'm sorry about that. um, anyway, I hope you're doing well on this Friday. I'm trying to get the mic situated here so I'm not blasting into it. Okay. Little different angle today, just so you don't have to look at my ugly face, but at least not straight on. And just for a little variety, hopefully I can block out some of the sunlight by doing this. There's still a little bit. I mean, I could actually compress the screen a little bit more, but I don't want to totally blot everything out. Anyway, this is a video that, to be honest with you, I am not going to enjoy making. I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. But I got some information, and I want it to be understood that from the beginning, I am not accusing anybody of anything. I may have my own personal opinions about it, which I would imagine that you'll probably be able to figure out what those are pretty quickly. God, trying to think how to even start this. I'm just winging it. You know, I got the information, I've been thinking it over, and I was going to put it in an outline, and it's just... So I figured, you know what, I'm just going to get on here. I'm going to just tell you what I have. And I have to admit that I was wrong on a couple of things, which I don't have any problem. Like I said before, I don't care who's right and who's wrong. I care less about that. I don't care who gets the credit for doing what. That is irrelevant to me. The only thing that is relevant to me is finding the truth, so we can bring justice to Kiely. That's the only thing that I care about. So I'm trying to get my thoughts together, people. I'm struggling. There's just so much running through my head right now. There's so many things I can't say. So many things I'd like to say. And I'm trying to think how to put it so I don't... Copper does not like it when I get on the microphone or I get on the telephone. He doesn't like it. He starts acting up and he's laying there going, aren't you? Yeah. Just lay there, be good. Yeah, he's very high maintenance. He's probably more high maintenance than any girlfriend that I've had. Well, no. No, I take that back. I take that back. Nah. He is very high maintenance, though, as far as he wants attention all the time. And he gets it most of the day, so he's spoiled. Anyway, let me get back to what we're talking about here. Like I said, I was wrong, possibly, because these are things I've been told. I assume that they are true, simply because of the source that they came from. He was very knowledgeable about all the things that happen over in Truckee and have also happened in the past. There are those of you who believe that maybe Kiely was the victim of a ritual. That could partly explain why the autopsy did not match, because of the fact that maybe it wasn't Kiely in that vehicle. And I still I have my reservations about it. The autopsy does not match. That much we know for certain. And we all know that. Any of us who've seen the autopsy have gone, huh? You know. But I have been informed. Now, okay, let me digress a little bit. There was something I wanted to say to preface this, and I almost forgot about it. Do you remember in the Celebration of Life where Lindsay spoke, and it's, the video where she told us to shut up and mind her own business, basically? There probably is a really, really good reason for that. But do you remember the one statement, how she said that we are not mourning her, we are celebrating her, and that she is free to pursue whatever else in the next life? I don't remember. I should have gone back and watched it again, I guess. But any of you who've seen that, you know what I'm talking about. And people have made comments about it. People have made other videos about it. But just really strange. It's not your normal, what a mother would normally say about a daughter that she just lost. I don't believe Lindsay loved Kiely. As I've said before, if you looked at the vlogs or blogs or whatever, blogs, I guess. Yeah, because it was in writing. That she did on the lodge, she constantly talked about how hard it was to deal with a teenager, how they were always at each other's throats. Never one time did we ever hear her say one positive thing about Kiely, even though Kiely graduated early. She was going off to college. You'd think that a mother would be proud of her. I know if she was my daughter, I'd be proud of her. Not proud of everything that she did, of course. Of course, I'm not proud of everything that I did either when I was a teenager. So, none of us perfect. We all had our wild years, I guess. Not everybody, but most of us had our wild years where we did a lot of stupid stuff. I did more than my share. So if you haven't ever done anything stupid, trust me, I made up for it. So you're good. So she did not act like a mother would normally act. Her reactions, you never did see her cry. Never. You saw her manufacture sad face, fake sad face, especially on TV. But you never really saw her cry. You never saw her sob like a normal mother. And trust me, in my 10 years as being a cop, I've seen many a sobbing mother, and I know how they react. Now, not everybody reacts the same way, so don't be saying, well, we all react different. We all grieve differently. Yeah, I know. I'm totally aware of all that. But I have never, ever, in my experience, ever seen a mother not break down and cry. Ever. And not just as a cop, just in regular life, other encounters of like kids who have gotten killed or relatives who died or whatever. I've always seen tears. Always. So for a person not to grieve is very far and few between. Again, you don't need to come in my comments and say, well, y'all give me bad. Shut up. I'm not stupid. I understand there are exceptions to every rule. But for the most part, a mom who's lost a 16-year-old daughter is going to show some kind of emotion. At that celebration of life, we saw no emotion. All we saw was theatrics. Where she's saying, oh, and sometimes we can even cry. Yeah? Well, where was that? That was planned in her speech. She wasn't grieving. Far from it. Now, something that I found out, and this is something, those of you who live in the Truckee area, you may be familiar with goings on over there. And let me mention this while I'm thinking of it before I forget it. It just popped into my head. When Kiely went missing, there is a real estate person that I was talking to for a while. Lives basically in Hobart Mills area. Her best friend lives the other side on the south end. I believe she said. I may be wrong on that, but I think she said lived on the south end of where she could see Prosser. And she could actually see the sanctuary area from her residence. And she said for a week after Kiely went missing, there was a group of people who were holding ceremonies near sanctuary, either at sanctuary or at least near it. And she said that she could see them with binoculars. They had a fire going and they were doing what she said to her, it looked like satanic ritual type stuff. She said this started occurring right after Kiely went missing and before she was found. She said after Kiely was found that there wasn't any more rituals. Now that I find the timing of that extremely interesting. Don't you? I also was told that Lindsay was working her way up the ladder and that many of the powerful people over there. Hang on a second. Let me adjust my camera before it cuts off the top of my head. Yeah, there we go. I got it adjusted to where it actually was able to cut out a little bit more light there. Okay, let me go on with what I was talking about. My source said, hang on just a sec. A little bit. There we go. All right. I'm sorry, I'm a perfectionist to a point. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but anyway, my source said their understanding was that most of the people, including the political people, believe basically in the power of the occult to gain their positions. Very famous names were mentioned. Many of you know, in fact, all of you know them. If I were to mention them, but let me just say, read between the lines. But they believe that, I guess, through the power of Satan and these rituals is how they gain their power. I've been told that the people who are in power over there believe that is how they obtained it. Now, I was told, and again, I'm not saying this is fact, this is what I was told. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. But I was told that Lindsay was on this pathway. That she had started out dabbling in the occult And she had gotten deeper and deeper and deeper into it. We saw how she was even giving her kids tarot cards. And I'm assuming from that she was trying to get them into it as well. Now, I don't know if Kiely was into that. I know that she had these cards that were on that table at her celebration of life. Tarot cards. Occult. Now, people, I don't care what anybody says. That's bad stuff. It's totally forbidden in the Bible. God says, don't mess with it. You start dabbling in the occult, you're asking for problems. But apparently Lindsay was getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into this. She was wanting to climb the ladder of power. And this is just my opinion, but I think that part of that was that they were in financial difficulty and that she felt that this is one way to position of power and money. That's my opinion. I don't know. But I would say from everything else I've been told that would fit right in there with that scenario. So she's climbing the ladder, getting deeper and deeper and deeper into this. I have been told that a lot of the young children and such that have gone missing over the years in that area were victims of ritual sacrifice. And you see why I said I didn't really want to make this video today? I said they've been abused for years, basically from the time that they were 10 years old. I wasn't told specifically what kind of abuse, but again, I think that all of us can read between the lines. Now, while I don't buy the black box data that was given to me, there may be some truth to it. The black box data showed that Kiely went home after the party and then drove from Lost Trail Lodge to Boca the next day. Now, the Google Map data that was given to me, on it, it had listed, it said EDR1, EDR2, EDR3, 4, and 5. However, here's one reason that I don't buy it. EDR is Event Data Recorder. The Event Data Recorder does not record trips. The Event Data Recorder simply records, well, put it this way, it's triggered by airbag deployment. And so what it does is when the airbags are deployed, it records what was transpiring 20 seconds before the airbags were deployed, and then another, I believe it's another 20 seconds. I may not be exactly right on this, but it's a very short amount of time. But I believe it's another 20 seconds after the airbags are deployed. So even if she did go home after the party, even though she did go to Boca the next day from Lost Trail Lodge, that would not be EDR. As I said, EDR is associated with airbag deployment and only records a short segment. Now there's the ELD. Now ELD will record trips. However, you generally only see ELDs on commercial vehicles that are actually placed on there by the company to record their information from their drivers, their employees. You're generally not going to see an ELD on the regular vehicle. So while there may be information that corresponds with what was given to me is fake. Because that is not EDR. And that's what it says on the thing. EDR would not record those trips. However, the information that was given might be correct. I need to adjust my camera again. I adjusted it, but now it looks like it's going to chop my head off again. So hang on. Okay, I think we're good now. And I've got most of the light blocked out. That's the nice thing with this program. I can adjust the size of the screen that's being recorded, which I couldn't do with just the regular Windows built-in camera. All right, so I'm wondering how accurate the information that was given to me, because we have two different scenarios. We have scenario number one, which is that Kiely spent the night with Nate at Boca, and then they were seen by Nick at Boca the next day. According to the information that was given to me, Kiely went home after the party and then drove to Boca from Lost Trail Lodge the next morning. I think the more likely scenario is that she stayed all night at Boca. I'm not saying that she didn't go home, because she showed up with a guy at Boca the next morning. And to me, it would make more sense that she just stayed there. Like that one person said that they went to Boca and he said that they did what young people do in cars, which we can figure that out. And then we're seen by Nick, the service driver, the next morning at Boca. However, what I was told is that, well, let me back up again. Somebody said, and I don't remember ever seeing this, okay? I don't remember. So if somebody can tell me, where this is, I'd like to find it. But somebody said that the grandpa said that Kiely had disgraced the family. I have never seen that quote. If he actually made that quote, I'd like to know where it is, because I've never seen it. Again, I don't know if it's actuality or if it's something that another rumor, because there's been a lot of rumors that have been started that are unfounded, that are just rumors. I do not believe Grandpa is totally innocent. Main reason, I kind of trusted Grandpa until I saw him make that video with Check It, and then try to act like they had just met. This is what they were trying to portray. Until he goes, "Thank you, Juan. Yeah, you didn't know him." But the very fact that he would be in that video with Check It, which was basically, it was fake. Everybody knows that. That guy's a dingbat. Or at least tries to come across like one. I'm trying to think where my thoughts were going here. Like I said, I'm just winging it, so forgive me. But anyway, how did she disgrace the family? Well, as I was talking about last time, if she had gotten pregnant, I guess you could say she disgraced the family if that was the case. But what if it was something else? What if it was it was because she had filed for emancipation because she wanted to get the hell out of there? What if she'd been being abused since she was 10 years old, and that's why she graduated early to get out of there as soon as she could? And as soon as she turned 16, she filed for emancipation, or she was going to be turning 17. I think you have to be 17 to be able to be emancipated. I could be wrong on that, but generally that's the case. She was about to turn 17. If I remember right, her birthday was on September 1st, and this happened less than a month before that. Now, she was going to be emancipated. What I was told is that Lindsay was afraid that Kiely would leave and that she would spill the beans. That Kiely wasn't buying into the occult stuff. She wasn't interested. As she got older, she saw it for what it was. She wanted no part of it. That they had been involved in these ritual sacrifices, which I've been told occurred quite frequently. And that is not far-fetched at all, people. I have seen, especially like that in the woods, it seems to be where it happens the most. There's something about the woods that brings all the freaks, especially California woods. Those that live in California, you can probably do a thumbs up and say, yeah, you're exactly right. There's a lot of strange people that wander down in there. So, what if, now here's the theory that has crossed through my mind, and again, I may be wrong, but it's just a theory. What if there were two sacrifices? What if Kiely had been sacrificed and her body burned, and another person sacrificed and placed in her vehicle? I still don't think that was Kiely in that vehicle. I have never been able to buy that, especially, I bought it until they come out with the autopsy. But then ever since the autopsy, it's like, no, I can't buy it. I just don't buy it. The person who told me about the sacrifices, and I don't know how to say this without, because I don't want to put them in danger. But let's just say if somebody could have blown the whistle, a lot of lives could have been saved. That's what this person said. But a lot of times when you're involved in certain areas of government, you can't talk. The person could not really go into detail about it. They had previously gone into detail about a lot of things, especially about some of the families over there. But what is believed by people who are familiar with the area, familiar with what has gone on over there, familiar with the families being involved in these cults and these satanic rituals, these occult rituals, believe that Kiely was sacrificed. Now, the body not being hers, that's my theory. That is nothing that they told me. However, generally, when someone is sacrificed in a ritual, which is a satanic ritual, it always involves fire. And generally, it's going to involve burning of the body. If you watch the video, when they extract Kiely's vehicle from the lake, they are very secretive about what they're doing. There are some things, and if you watch some people's videos about it, I'm not going to go into it because I never did a video on it. There's a lot of people who did. There's a lot of strange things that they did. Like they were trying to cover something up. It's just very, very strange. You know, I don't think I'm filling the whole screen here. Okay. Sorry about that. I just now noticed that. It's like the edge of it doesn't fill the whole thing. Well, I was trying to block out all that light, but I guess that's not too bad. Trying to think where to go from here. But there were people that said that it was a sacrificial type of thing, sacrifice, ritual, and I didn't agree with them. I do now. Like I said, I don't mind at all admitting I'm wrong when I'm wrong. Because the only thing I care about is finding the truth. Whether this is the truth or not, it is what many believe occurred. It explains a lot of things. It explains Lindsay's behavior, for sure. Total lack of emotion. Total lack of caring. She didn't wait up for Kiely that night. But Mom does that. There's a lot of things that she did that mothers don't generally do. She comes across to me as a very cold person. Her behavior at the celebration of life was beyond strange. I think that her behavior can be explained by what we're talking about today. And why she got so upset when AWP came and other people became involved. And I think that was, first I thought that she was just mad at AWP because the money situation. But I believe it was more than that. I think it was also the publicity. That she knew with AWP coming that their little plan over there was now going to go worldwide. They weren't going to be able to keep it a secret. So all these things that she planned, all of a sudden were going to be exposed. That's why she come on there saying there's honor in silence and there's honor and whatever and minding your own business. Well, Lindsay, let me say, if you watch this, which I highly doubt you'll see it, if you killed her, we're going to find out. And your ass is grass. If you didn't, you got nothing to worry about. So, some of you other people who were involved, that we know you were involved, your ass is grass too. Because we're not going to stop until your ass is in jail. That's a promise. Let me say this to anybody over there who has any information. My email is in the description. If you have information, let's find justice for Kiely. There's no honor in silence. None. There's no honor in letting the murder of a 16-year-old girl go unpunished. There's no honor in keeping your mouth shut when you have the truth. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Anybody who contacts me, I never tell who my source is. Never. You watch any of my videos, all the people who have given me information, which there's been plenty, I have never once betrayed their confidence. Nor will I ever. I never did as a cop with my informants. Even when ordered to, I didn't. I just won't. That's just the way I am. I believe if you tell me something in confidence, I keep it confident or confidential. So if you live there and you have information about what happened, get a hold of me. Now, there was some information that I never got that Squirrel Girl had. She would only give me bits and pieces. For some reason, she would never tell me the whole thing. The only thing I can tell you is I know that those pictures that came out about Kiely's vehicle, she took. She saw the vehicle when the body was still in there. She said that she had information to prove that Kiely did not drive herself into the lake. And she never told me what it was. She wouldn't tell me. She said that she would only tell my contact at DOJ. Interesting thing, I'd been in contact with my person at DOJ. I let them know about the vehicle, told them that Squirrel Girl wanted to email them and give them the information. After that, not a word. Did not hear from them again. And we'd been in constant contact before that. And then when I told them that we had information about the vehicle, all of a sudden, crickets. Crickets. And nothing since. And that's been several months ago. Like 4 or 5 months ago now. I hadn't even heard from Squirrel Girl since December 15th. So, we're talking. And it was a while before that I had contact with my person at DOJ. So I don't know if somebody was told to stand down. I'm assuming that's probably what happened. But, and I wish I knew what evidence Squirrel Girl had, because she said it proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that Kiely did not drive herself into the lake. She said there was definitely a dead body in the vehicle, but she didn't know who it was for certain. I kind of have the feeling it was somebody else who was part of the ritual to cover for Kiely. It'd be way off base, but anyway, that's what I was told. That Kiely was the sacrifice. That Lindsay was afraid that she was going to go off to college and rat on him. that she was going to open her mouth and tell everybody what was going on. You've seen all those pictures of the children at the lodge. A lot of those children were sacrificed, is my understanding. She was working her way up the ladder. It still is. That's why she seemed almost gleeful that Kiely was now out of the way. I fear for Kylie's brother. Is he next? Again, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just telling you what was told to me and maybe some of the other evidence that fits into it that explains Lindsay's behavior and other people's behavior. My understanding is that Daniel, her father, her real father, not Tony, that Daniel wants to find out the truth. Jared with AWP had made a statement when he was talking about the video that they might come out with, about the conversation with Grandpa and Daniel there at the lake. And he said, if I told you, it would blow your mind. From the time he said that, what I felt Daniel said was he suspected Lindsay. I really do. I wish there was a way I could get a hold of Daniel and talk to him to find out. Because I have the feeling that's what he would say. Now, I can't say that 100% for certain, of course. But I believe that that might be what he'd say. I can't think of anything else right now that I wanted to say. I know there was a couple of things that I thought about before I started recording that have since fly away. Gonna fly like an eagle. Oh, ow. So, I just thought I'd put this out here. Again, if you live in Truckee and you watch this video, and if you have any sympathy in your soul for Kiely and her untimely death, you can make a difference. You can make a difference. You should do it. Thing is, down the road, especially as you're on your deathbed, you're going to think about things. And this is going to eat at you if you have information and you don't do anything about it. You may not think so now, but eventually it's going to come back and haunt you. And memories like that are not fun. So, you got my email. It's in the description. So I suggest that you email me. And I'll work with you. And I promise you, promise, I will not reveal who you are. And I will only say what you feel comfortable with me saying, as I've done with all my sources since I've been working on this Kiely case. But it's taken another turn. I tell you, this case has had more twists and turns and crazy crap than anything I've ever seen in my life. it's been a freaking circus. And it's been like a 10-ring circus, not just a 3-ring circus. Or 20-ring circus. So anyway, be interested what you guys think. Like I said, I am not accusing anybody of anything. I think you guys probably know what I think and what I think happened. But I'm not accusing anybody of anything. But by golly darn gee whiz, if I find out that it's true, somebody's ass is grass. All right. I'm going to get this edited and uploaded and so you guys can watch it. And we'll talk to you later.